Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Codependence. Please like, rate, and review on whichever streaming platform you are listening to, and let's get into this week's episode. Please note that this episode contains discussions of death and trauma that some people may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. Okay, have you heard about Tori Bowie?
No.
She's an Olympic track star. She has recently passed away. She was 8 months pregnant, recently passed away, and was found dead in her home.
Is this true crime?
This is not true crime,
Damn.
but I do know you like true crime.
You pepped up a little bit.
Yeah, you really
Not that
did.
I want her to die.
I know I saw your
Okay.
you like people who fall asleep to true crime.
That's me.
Gotta watch out for them. Per the autopsy report, it says that she died of complications during birth.
Oh.
And she was at home. And honestly, it said in the report that officers just responded, went to go do a wellness check on her because people hadn't heard from her for several days.
This is in America?
Yeah. And so she was, do you remember, what's her name? Allison Felix?
Yeah.
She was, so
Yeah,
she did
the
the
runner.
4x4 runner,
Yeah.
the 100-meter relay races with Allison Felix, that whole, iconic Olympic team.
Okay. Yeah.
And it just got me on to, a whole spiel of, black women in healthcare and especially reproductive healthcare.
You know, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting the way our minds work because, that is a natural response for sure. To me, I'm like, her baby daddy did it.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I go.
Yeah. No, I know that sounds like it would be a true crime thing, but then when they did the autopsy, it showed that she had died from respiratory distress during childbirth.
Which is, I mean, that's something you don't even really hear of. I don't think you hear of that.
What?
Respiratory distress.
Well, the thing about childbirth is that there's so many different things that can go wrong, but Black women are so susceptible to complications during childbirth.
Yes.
And honestly, an area of neglect during childbirth.
Yes.
And not being heard, and doctors, medical professionals not believing them when they complain about their pain or their
And that's not even just in
grievances.
childbirth. That's honestly across the board when it comes to Black women as patients.
Yeah, Black people as patients and minorities as a whole. So it's one of these things that tugs on my heartstrings. When I saw it, I was and I think it happened a couple weeks ago now, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it. And I was just reading how Black women are almost 2.6 times more likely to die during childbirth than white women.
Let me make this full circle for you as a true crime listener. You're, as a woman of color, that is the highest time, your highest chance of murder when you're pregnant.
Black women.
Women of color is what I generally hear on my podcast.
That's crazy.
That's the highest time you're susceptible to murders when you're pregnant.
Why is that? And what is that?
I think from the podcast that I listen to, I don't have the answers, but it seems like it comes down to partners or whoever the father of the child is.
Domestic violence cases?
They're usually domestic.
Wow. That's so freaking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so scary.
Very.
Yeah, that's alarming.
Yeah.
Ugh, sorry. I didn't know that just makes me sick. But
okay, so she was reported missing for a few days, you said? And
hadn't been seen. They did a wellness check on her. And so I would assume she's an Olympic athlete. She's taking care of herself. She's going and getting her checkups, her prenatal, going through all of her monthly checkups and stuff. And they would see, was she at risk for preeclampsia or eclampsia or any other complications?
Do those things lead to respiratory distress?
So preeclampsia is sudden high blood pressure, gestational hypertension. And so there's a preeclampsia and then eclampsia. And so high blood pressure without pregnancy can lead to strokes and whatnot, seizures, comas. But in pregnancy, the rate is you're more likely, I don't know what the number or how many more times you are, but if you are in eclampsia, you're seizing and you can be the term coma is so weird to me, but you could seize to death, essentially.
Okay, so to me, as someone that doesn't understand medicine, if
Yeah,
you're seizing to death, that means you're also having respiratory issues. So it's related.
good question. So when you're seizing, it's like an involuntary muscle control. You have no control, but a lot of times people aspirate, which means that they like there's
Like gasping.
stomach contacts can come up, like people
Oh,
can throw up, you can
no.
choke on your spit, like um things can go down the trachea instead of the esophagus, so that's an
Mhm.
aspiration risk. So you can suffocate that way.
Okay.
But respiratory distress would be like she stopped breathing. So there's no particular thing that says exactly what she died for because it's really what she died from, but they've just marked it as respiratory distress because it's hard to kind of tell, but I'm sure she probably seized and passed away.
Is there usually a history of something like this in your family?
Mm, I don't know. I wish I was like in labor and delivery or some sort. Actually, I don't, but like I wish I was like had more knowledge on the labor and delivery field. I have no idea, but it's one of those things that like that's why you're constantly going to the doctors when you're pregnant. But if you have high blood pressure, that's something to look out for. Or if you have like gestational diabetes, you're susceptible to different things. But
I mean, I would just assume that this is someone that has done all the work or someone that did all the work. So if she were to be going into labor, I feel like unless she wasn't aware of it, like she would have reached out. Like
right.
something's
Yeah.
it's just so unfortunate.
It just feels like something's missing here. Like, did they miss something? Did they not see anything? It's like I
Did
wonder.
the baby pass?
Mhm. They found I mean,
The baby did Was the baby delivered?
no, not to my knowledge, not that I read, but
Wow.
if no blood supply, if mommy's
Hmm.
dead. Yeah, it was just so fucking sad to me. It makes it I feel like whenever I like envision me myself having a baby, I've always pictured having an all black team. And whether that decide to do it all in the hospital or have like a midwife or a doula and do it a little bit at home if I need to
Mhm.
go to the doctor. It's kind of crazy that in 2023 this is still happening, but I think it just goes to show like just how much is wrong with the medical infrastructure in America because in other countries, when women die during childbirth, they're immediately doing research and they study that case and they figure out exactly what went wrong and what happened so that the mistakes aren't made again. And like, no, she didn't die in the hospital or in a medical setting, but
I wonder what her like delivery plans were. One,
right,
I feel like that could like I don't know if she planned on a at home
right.
birth because that's something
Yeah.
that many people do. But man, I don't know. It feels it's I mean, obviously it's tragic, but like to be that young and to be alone
Yeah.
essentially, that feels very sad.
That's it's daunting.
Also, this morning, like weirdly enough, which I never get targeted for stuff like this on Instagram, but I got targeted for this reel of this nurse praying over a delivery, like I guess what's the word for the bed that like the hospital bed? A hospital bed
Yeah. Mhm.
before the patient was coming in for delivery and she was like just like praying over the
Oh
bed for a
wow.
safe delivery. And I was like to me in my mind I was like
Wow.
well, A I would never think to of see a
Yeah.
reel about that, but like very weird that that's now all connecting.
Yeah. But also I kind of love that. I feel like when I was like full time in the unit, the worst call was when you would hear like a code blue being called
In
in
delivery.
labor and delivery or like a postpartum floor.
Mm.
And so when you're in the ICU, like if there's a code in the hospital, either our charge nurse will go or depending on just how busy the unit is, someone from ICU always goes to the code along with the other like intensivist, pulmonary and whatnot. They just go to assist and since we typically are doing CPR and other life-saving interventions or emergent interventions and stuff, and, I mean, I do remember this one time there was code blue in the labor and delivery, and, I mean, they cracked over, 5 different crash carts trying to,
Wow.
help save this mom. Childbirth is already so fucking scary and, like, not to scare anyone, but it's such an important and vital part of human life and the procreation. I don't understand. I feel like there should be more money in saving women's lives during childbirth, especially, or with the focus on minority women, women of color, Black women, and
Wouldn't that be nice?
yeah. And it just seems like it keeps happening and there's no resources or there's nothing being done to kind of, I don't know, to prevent it from happening more at the rate that it's happening. I think one of the statistics that I read was 70 women per 100,000 so 70,
Pass?
yeah. So 70 women out of 100,000 women will die during childbirth. Black women will die during childbirth.
Black women. That's
Mhm.
only Black women?
Mhm.
I wonder what, like, the statistics are for all women.
Yeah. And that's
Because
the
I assume for Black women, it's highest. Well,
yeah,
based off just, like, everything I've always been
yeah.
told, so I
That's the
wonder
2.6 times higher than white women.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's a lot.
Yeah. So
We're gonna shift gears
mhm.
and take a moment to hear from our sponsors.
Now, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Life is hard and it can be easy to feel overwhelmed and lost. Whether you're dealing with decisions around your career, relationships, or anything else in between, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate your life, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. For me, I look forward to my weekly therapy sessions that empower me to be the best version of myself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Visit betterhelp.com/codpod today to get 10% off your first month. That's better, HELP.com/CODPOD.
Okay, today we wanna talk about, the difference between growing up in suburbia and now
City life.
living in the city.
Which do you like more?
I believe, and I never thought that I would be this person, but I'm like a city girl. Even though I don't leave my house, I'm a city girl because I like the idea of having everything that I need.
Yeah, within a couple of feet.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
How long have you lived in New York now?
I've lived here for like 4 years-ish now, but I lived here for 2 years before I was in DC.
In DC City. Do you consider DC City life?
DC
Um,
DC City? I was like, "What the hell is that?"
DC City life?
Yeah, no, I think that DC I think most people consider DC to be a city. I don't know if I do necessarily. It's like
It
first off,
seems
DC is like very, to me, southern leaning,
yeah,
and it
Virginia.
feels real slow.
Yeah, and it seems more spread out.
It is. It's not like, well, when I lived in DC, you could get anywhere in the city for a $5 Uber, and that was
Oh, wow, that's
glorious.
that's
Um, but it wasn't really like even if you had to go somewhere, it wasn't like a walking city necessarily, but it was like
yeah,
a biking, scooter, or quick Uber city type of thing.
okay.
But everything closed early. Like
Yeah.
that's for okay, so like we
Yeah.
can get right into my list because my number 1 was I need to be in a place that I can order food at any time, like noon, midnight,
5 AM,
6
2
AM.
AM,
Exactly. Like I
reach,
need to have, and it can't just be one place. I need options.
options. There's nothing worse than going somewhere, looking on Uber Eats,
Mm,
and seeing that everything is closed.
mm. And then
Or
like
or there's just a
no,
gas station
you know what
open.
it's like? It's like when you go into your fridge and you open it as if something new is there and nothing's there, and then you close it, you go back 10 minutes later and you open it, it's the same shit. That's what the fuck Uber Eats is like in the suburbs.
No,
And that is
seriously,
not
that
it for me.
wait, that opening the fridge thing,
Because you know everyone's done it. We
my
all do it.
mom that's my mom's pet peeve about me is that I used to do that well, I still do that. I did that so much when I was younger. When I would come down for my 10 o'clock snack, she'd be like, You open it again, nothing's gonna change.
Nothing new.
She's like,
And
nothing's
that's the same
changed.
thing in
She's
the
like,
suburbs. There's nothing new.
She's like, I didn't magically go to the store in between the time you went upstairs and downstairs. Yeah, and in the city, I mean, and in the suburbs, there's only a few options anyway, and everything closes at 9:00.
Every time I am in the suburbs, I lose weight.
Yeah, okay. You know what? That's
But it's not good weight to
could be a
lose.
suburban, like, positive, maybe.
Nah, I don't believe
No?
that. But I'll tell you about a positive. A
Of
positive
city life or suburban life?
suburban life.
Okay.
The Targets.
No, girl. Don't even get me started on the Targets, because I don't go to Target here in New York City.
No, I literally don't even think of
I
it
d-
as a store.
I have had when I first moved here, I had to part with Target.
You basically leave it
Like,
behind
you grieve.
That's so true.
You
I
grieve
don't think to
the
go
life
there.
that you knew of Target. You grieve the super Target. And when I go to Florida,
To me, you shouldn't even call it a super Target. To me, like, that's just a regular Target.
but there is like, then you have the super
You're
Target.
talking about the one with the groceries? Because they don't actually call them super Targets. They have super Walmarts. They don't have super Targets. And those are not the same.
Right.
Walmart and Target are not the same.
No, Walmart and Target are not the same. Girl, man. The money that I've spent at Walmart and Target over the years. But typically when I get to my mom's house, the first thing I do is I go to Target.
When you came to visit me,
Oh yeah, we had to go.
we went to Target.
Yeah.
We didn't need anything. We did not need a damn thing at that Target.
We went to IKEA and then we went to Target. And I was just because, like, you can. Because look, the clothing section in Target, I love, like, they sometimes have really cute purses, the hair accessories, and I need to be able to walk around and see what's available to me.
I will say though, now Target in Brooklyn kind of does feel like it has that. I called you from Target in Brooklyn
Oh yeah, you
recently,
did. Yeah,
and I was like, there is a whole...
you were getting a bed stand.
No, I was getting a
frame.
bed frame that did not do me justice. That bed frame did not support the bed.
Did it break?
It's not with me anymore.
That was 2 weeks ago.
You're correct. I have a new one since.
Not from Target.
No.
Damn. Well,
You know, that bed frame
did you return it? You could probably return it.
You know, I had to break. I put it together. One that took too much time.
Yeah.
I then had to disassemble it. That took longer than putting it together, and it was so heavy. I refused to take an Uber to bring it back to Target to return it. So when my parents just came, I sent it home with them to return it,
Okay.
which
Damn.
I need to follow up on.
Yeah. But gotta love Target. At least you had the option of getting one.
Listen, this is the Target that I could have bought some clothes at. This is the Target I could have got.
Wow, they have
they have
good sections.
Even their grocery section was huge.
Really?
Yes, this is like a good ass Target.
They have a Magnolia Home section?
Yes.
Wow.
The candle aisle was 2 aisles thick.
Mm.
That's how I knew it was good.
They have a pillow section?
They had the whole home section with like the actual displays and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Where? Where is
This
this?
is somewhere in Brooklyn.
Okay. One time I did go to Jersey to go to Target. There's a big Target over there.
I've done it too, because you know what I used to do? I used to rent the U-Haul cargo vans, because you can get that $19 an hour, and that's cheap as hell.
Oh, yeah, like the Home Depot? Oh, this is like
the U-Haul, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And because when I lived in Hudson Yards, I used to go to the one in Chelsea right there, pick that up, go to Target. Next to that Target is a BJ's and a Costco.
Damn.
Man, that's how like we used to throw
Wow.
parties. We would get like outdoor furniture at Target, get everything you need from Target, then go and get all the alcohol and everything, all the snacks, food, whatever from BJ's and Costco.
Okay, let me tell the people, just in case they don't know about the city Target life. The city Target life is literally a
Trash.
Target bodega. It's a Target bodega.
With no bacon, egg, and cheeses.
There's not a single bacon. First of all, empty. They're low on stock. There ain't really much options. There's not a lot there. And
why is that
there's a downstairs and an upstairs. And honestly, I'm like, y'all could really fit all this on one floor. You don't even need the downstairs.
But why is nothing ever in stock?
I don't know. It's like they never replenish their supplies. It's bullshit. It's a lot. Okay, anyway. You know what I love about the city? I love seeing old people walk around. I know this is stupid, but I love seeing old people walk around. They're so active, so much later in their life. What?
No, because you're about to get me going. Because
Oh, well, are they in your way?
One thing that I care about in the city, it's walking. And I believe that there's a walking etiquette that the entire city of New York should follow that nobody follows. This is listed. Number 1, if you're going to walk slowly, walk to your right. Move all the way to the right side. And if you think of opening your phone, especially if you're older and you can't do both at once, step
to the side.
aside. Do not stay in my way while I'm trying to walk.
Okay, one of my pet peeves is someone who you could be walking at a full speed pace and they stop abruptly in the middle of the sidewalk. And so then you fucking crash, like fender like bumper. What is it? A bumper?
You rear end them.
Yeah, you rear end that. Rear end. You rear end them.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, if you are with your family, you need to split up. There's no such thing as walking 4 in a
in a row. Come on. You can't be
2 and 2.
Hands.
2 is the maximum. If you are a family of 3, that means you walk 2 and 1.
Yeah. So leave the child behind.
Like, I don't
Fuck them kids.
Figure it out.
Leave them behind.
Figure it out. I don't care who you leave behind, but like, no, that is not appropriate in New York City.
No, I agree. But I will say, I do like seeing old people walk around. They're just so active.
But girl, you can do that at a mall. Like, go.
You don't have malls.
So listen, if you're in the suburbs, if you go to the mall early enough.
Yes. No, I know about the old people in the malls.
So let them do that. There you go. That you can get your like elderly fix. Moving on. That's a bad example. That was a bad example.
Okay, what I love about the city though is my nighttime drive home and having a car.
Suburbs.
I miss having that. Did I say city?
Yeah.
Okay, I meant to say suburbs. I miss my nighttime drive homes. I miss having a car.
That was my number 3.
There's something about driving at night that when I have my glasses, that is so soothing. And you can just put on your playlist, The Quiet Storm, and you can just like.
For me, it's like Tamar Braxton belting my heart.
Yeah.
But it's not, I don't think driving needs to be at night for it to be therapeutic. That's my only difference with you. I feel like just like getting in the car, there's like some level of freedom and like, because it's great for anxiety because you can't really think about anything but else. Driving.
Yeah.
You have to focus on driving.
Yeah.
Like for your own safety.
But I feel like I do talk a lot of things through in my head when I am driving. Like I'm playing scenarios. You're focused, but
I'm just
you zone out and
I'm a different girl in the car.
Yeah.
When I'm by myself.
Interesting. I like to be a passenger princess, though. I do have to admit.
No, I don't need that. To me, I'd rather be alone than be in a car with anybody else.
I like sitting in the back seat. I love sitting in the back seat. Even when my mom drives me, because I just feel like a kid again. I don't have bills. I don't have responsibilities.
I don't like that.
And
it feels like
I have a chauffeur.
But doesn't it feel like you're giving up some sort of power in a way?
No, honestly, I'll go wherever you want me to go. Take me with you. My mom loves to run errands with me, so like I'll sit in the back seat when
my mom will run errands with me too, but not in the back seat. I know if I sat in the back seat, my mom would look at me or it like she would just look. She wouldn't say anything. She would look and be like, "When you're ready to be in the passenger seat, then we can go." Like that's what that look would mean.
I will sit in the passenger seat, but I also I put my feet up. I'm in full relaxation mode.
No, my mom's car is her child, like her first child.
Yeah, I've had to break my mom into really letting me put my feet up because she never allowed that when I was younger. And so as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what? Just slowly, it starts off with 1 foot and then 2 foot. And then I put my little toes on the windshield, which you should not do that. You should not drive that way because that is how you break your legs. That is how you get a compound fracture. If there were to be an accident or a car wreck, that's not safe.
If I'm driving those here, my left leg is up. And
if you're driving,
correct.
And I get in trouble for that. My left leg is up too.
It's damn near the rear view mirror.
No, it's on that little AC right there on the side of the steering wheel.
I feel like that's very comfortable. I feel like that should be a normal way to drive.
I do that religiously. There's something about getting in the car.
I don't know who taught me that. That's the thing. Like, obviously, I picked it up from somebody.
I actually know where I got that from. My troop leader, my Girl Scout troop leader.
Get the fuck out of here.
When I was younger.
Troop leader?
Yeah, sure. Miss Robin. She always drove with her foot by the air conditioning on the steering wheel. I always grew up seeing her do that. I was with her all the time, pretty much lived at her house part-time, and she was also very flexible. But yeah, always had her foot up there.
Mm,
So when I started driving, I just was like, "Oh, that looks so comfortable."
mm.
Like, yeah,
Okay, what else?
like having really friendly neighbors in the suburbs. What?
I don't know. I just feel like the concept of neighbors is so weird to me.
Well, you're a little bit more self-isolating. What, you don't like neighbors?
I I feel like, especially in New York City, if you talk to your neighbors, there's something weird about that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a taboo to it, and so, like, I wouldn't like, this girl the other day, I was in the elevator, and she was, like, waving at me, trying to get my attention, I had my headphones in, she's like, "Oh, I was just trying to introduce myself," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
You were, like, taken
I
aback
was literally
from her
like
being friendly.
no, I could not conceptualize it, and I know I came off so cold because I was, like, trying to adapt to her trying to introduce herself.
I like that. I actually do know my neighbor on my left side, and then my neighbor down the hall because she has 2 cats, and so sometimes she watches my cats, but or watches my
Uh,
cat, I only have 1. But in the suburbs, always knew our neighbors. In fact, Uncle Brad, Aunt Kim were our neighbors. They lived across the street from us growing up,
mhm.
and they had much better food in their fridge than we ever did. Like, I like the camaraderie of being able to just, like, pop over to your neighbor's house if you need something, if you're missing something.
Okay, growing up, I knew so even now to this day, when I think of neighbors, I think of, like, where my parents live. I know the names of everyone that my parents like, of the people on the block for the most part.
Yeah.
I never asked for anything. Actually, this one time I couldn't figure out how to start the snowblower, and I went to my neighbor, and he came over and helped me start it while my parents were out of town. That was very nice.
Yeah.
I
See?
appreciate that. I do look at him in a different light now. Thank you, Brian. But, like, beyond that okay, so here's where I think this is what it comes down to.
Okay.
When neighbors start bringing you things around the holidays, food specifically, I'm like, "I'm not eating at a potluck, and therefore I'm not eating your food either."
Oh, okay. Well, so?
But you're saying your neighbors had better food in your fridge? I didn't
They
grow up
did.
I don't see, like, my food in my fridge was always prime.
Well, good for you.
Thank
But,
you.
like, I mean, but also, like, they would pick us up from school, we would
Did you
go.
guys but you didn't even go to public school.
No, I did.
Oh, I thought you went to private school.
I went to public school.
Oh.
So, there would be I mean, one of our houses, I always missed the bus, so my neighbor would take me.
See, I think that is a different element to it for sure.
What?
Like, the school, because you have, like, similar pickup drop-off times. Any neighborhood I lived in growing up, I went to private school, so everyone else went to school together, saw each other all
Mm.
throughout the day. I was the one that was, like I just never saw them other than
Oh,
the
okay.
playtime, so I had a very different like, I was always
Schedule.
isolated in a way from them, like, I didn't have that
Oh, so
same
you never had, like, neighborhood kids that you knew?
I did, like, we, like, would play after school, like, I would get home and we would play, like, at the basketball court type of thing, but like, they always knew each other much stronger than I knew them because they
Totally.
went to school together.
Yeah.
Like, did I end up, like, assimilating and fitting in? Sure, but it was always, like, when I say goodbye, it's not like, "See you in the morning," whereas, like, they're all seeing each other in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, well, I get that. But even, like, the adults, you didn't really I guess you weren't interacting with them at all.
No, not like that.
Yes.
Like, no auntie, uncle type.
Yeah, like, I know
None
the
of
kids
that.
and I know the parents. I
Uh-uh.
mean, they pretty much are like family. They came to
No,
my
no,
high
no.
school
Oh,
graduation.
hell no. But
Like
you also know my parents, like, were very not well, it was strict about who I was, like, spending my time
mhm.
with. So I'm pretty sure, like, if there were neighbors and adults in the neighborhood that my parents wanted me to spend my time with, I would have been spending the time with them. So clearly that they were not there for my like, in my parents' eyes is what I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
assume.
Interesting. Sheila's pretty shy, though. And also, but
My mom don't leave that house. Are you kidding me? My dad's from the Caribbean. You have to remember that.
yeah.
My dad believes that Boston is still the Caribbean.
I've seen him walk the neighborhood at
Exactly.
his very slow pace. Just
He's like putzing
cruising.
around, greeting everybody.
No, putzing.
He knows everybody's
Putzing.
name. He always knows
The
like
drama.
he knows a drama. He knows the mailman's name. He knows the UPS man's name. He knows like the FedEx man name. He knows every like in and out
Yeah.
of the neighborhood. Whereas like, and people will be like, people can name him. Oh, there's Cyril. He's over there doing that.
Yeah.
People are like, what's your mom's name? Like nobody knows my mom. She's like, she doesn't go out for the 5 o'clock gin and tonics that happen in the neighborhood. Like, she's
Oh my God,
doing
wow.
any of that.
But like my mom is also she's very similar in that way too. But we had such a small neighborhood where she like, I don't know how it kind of started, but people just kind of like force themselves. And then it just becomes, then my mom's going to have wine and cheese at Sally's house. And then we would do Thanksgiving at Sally's also. And all the neighbors would come. I mean, one of the neighbors was also my gynecologist. This is Sally again. Like, it was just like but it was nice.
To me, that's the South.
Yeah. It's very much, oh my God. Then I remember we had these 3 little girls that moved in next to us, the Rasaborskis. They were so cute. They had a sweet little dog. Yeah, like I would dog sit, babysit. That's how I would like kind of make money if I needed money.
Not my neighborhood.
Like I needed money for prom. So then I offered to babysit because my mom was like, I'm not giving you prom money.
I assume that has to do with like the fact that y'all were all going to school together.
Well, their kids were like of all different ages. So I don't think there was a single person that was my age. We were older than all the neighborhood kids. My sister, there was someone who's a little bit older than my sister. Then my sister was the oldest, and then me. But we were all older, so we would like babysit the kids around. And then my sister went to college, and then it was just me. But
no, my life was not like that. And even when I was outside playing, let me tell you, like I could be in the dead end playing. My father would be at the very end of our driveway watching with his arms crossed. With his arms crossed, being like, if you even look at my daughter, basically.
Oh my God.
I will kill you. Like that's how it looked. And I was afraid of him, and I know he's my dad at that point. Like, I know he's not gonna hurt me. He's not like giving that warning to me.
Yeah.
But I would be like, Dad, please, can you
just like
go inside?
Just like chill for a
or
second.
like I'd be like, can you sit on the stoop rather than like the very end of the driveway, like basically watching everybody. And like that's the other thing with my dad. Oh my God, he is like a silent killer because when it was time to go home, he didn't have to change like a lot, but his stance would change a bit and it would be like, okay, we're inside now.
Wow.
Take the basketball. Good night. See you when I see you. If I can come out again.
Now that's power.
That was my father.
Just needs like a little turn of a head.
That's how my dad was when it was growing up. He would be like, it's a wrap now. The sun is down.
Okay, my mom had a chair this chair in the living room. Every time I did something that when I crashed my car, I totaled my first car. I remember coming home, she sat in this chair with the light shining on her, like in all black, and I just walk in, she just turns, and I just was like,
you should ask her if she did it on purpose.
Soul dies. I don't even think she did.
You should ask her.
I should ask her because also there was another moment. What happened? One night I just didn't come home. I just like slept out somewhere. I can't remember if I was in high school or if I was like first year in college. She must have stayed up all night because I got home at like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. and it was like light outside, but she was still sitting with the light on in this chair. And
wait, she was in the chair still?
In the chair. And I was just like it's like I come in through the garage, not expecting to see her. And she's fucking sitting in that chair. And I was too old for her to beat my ass, but I was not too old to lose a bunch of other privileges. Like, my mom's
have that.
She was of many words, but could also just like, you knew.
But I also, I didn't experience things like that, but I also never defied my parents really. It was very rare. Like I was a good kid.
Really?
Because I was scared.
Have you ever got in trouble at school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
So you didn't defy your parents, but you got in trouble at school.
Well, God, I'm like, how much do you even want to say about that?
Have you
Like,
gotten detention?
oh no, I never got suspended or anything like that. Like
Did y'all have like in-school suspension and out-of-school suspension?
yeah, I never had anything like that. Like it wasn't ever that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember it was in like 3rd grade, I think, maybe 4th, and we had this like big project in school, and I really wanted to know who my partner was before they announced it. And so like during recess or lunch or something, like a bunch of us went into the classroom and like found the list. Which is
You guys
like,
went in during recess? Like you said you were gonna go use the bathroom?
I don't even know how it all happened. Obviously, this is a long time ago, but I remember like we got our hands on the list and it was like gold. It was basically like
Did you like your partner?
loved my partner.
Good.
Very excited with my
But
partner.
they caught you.
Someone snitched actually. So one of my very good friends to this day, like she's one of my good friends. She snitched on
She
all of us.
snitched?
She snitched.
Why?
Because she didn't do it. I don't know. And I brought the information to her too. So I
Right,
felt
like
like
you
it was
told her
my
who her
fault.
partner was.
Yes, I sure
And she
did.
still snitched.
She snitched. And I remember being like, what, like we all got pulled to the principal's office for that because it was like
Wow.
whatever, it was so bad that we like looked at the teacher's notes type of thing. Like it wasn't even that crazy. And my mom, which I don't even believe is true now, was like, I won't tell your dad about this. And I wonder if she did and if he acted like he didn't know or whatever. But to me, this seems
This is
so
like
light.
so light and
I
so
know,
minor.
now that I'm saying it, I'm out loud. I'm like, this doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, but like
I was
being at that
terrified.
age, yeah.
I was like, and that was like my first real disciplinary thing at school, and I was like, please don't tell dad.
Yeah.
As if he was gonna like do something crazy.
Yeah.
But I just didn't.
But at that age, like that's intimidating. Like going into the principal's office, you're like,
yeah, I was
am I gonna go to
terrified. I
jail?
was scared. I was scared.
I have gotten in-school suspension in middle school.
For what?
This girl, she did not like me. And it was kind of crazy. I thought we were friends. Yeah, we weren't, apparently. So it was, what is it called? It was in between like locker break or something. A lot of people came up to me and were like, this girl said she wanted to fight you. And I was like, wait, what? And I don't fight, obviously. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So I confronted her at the locker during locker break. And I was like, oh, I heard you wanted to fight me. And she was like, yeah, I do. And it got into a blown up thing. People were holding me back, her back. And I don't even remember what this was about at all. But we both ended up getting in-school suspension. And I was like, but she said she wanted to fight me. I mean, it was the first time my parents had to go to the school. It was
they had to like show up.
Yeah, because my mom was like, I don't understand what's going on here. And I really didn't either. It was a whole bunch of just like girls that just didn't like each other, and
I know all about that.
Yeah, that type of bullshit. And then I had 3 days of ISS, and I remember being in ISS and being
What's ISS?
In school suspension.
Okay.
And being so embarrassed because you literally are in a room with your face to a wall with a desk for 3 days. You don't see your friends. You can't eat lunch with them. You can't do
all
anything.
periods.
All periods. The entire day.
Do you learn?
They give you, your teachers will send the assignments with you.
Okay.
And you just have to sit and read whatever and then do the assignments and turn it all in.
Okay.
And I remember being so embarrassed. I was like, I will never be in this position again. I will never do whatever I did. I was like, I will never experience this. And then I didn't. I went to high school, got detention a couple times, but it was always due to my being late. I only got detention for being late. Shocker.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we can end on this. The last time I ever got in trouble in school, I was in high school at this point, and the students of color were all organized to go to this like MLK convention
Just
type
the
of
black
thing.
kids.
But like those I think it was open to this like anyone, but those are the people that opted to go. So like you didn't go to school for the day.
Oh, okay.
You went to this like convention, if you will. Convention is not the right word, but like it was like a seminar workshop thing.
Yeah.
And there was very few black teachers or teachers of color at my school. And the one teacher that was like spearheading this was a woman of color. She was black. She never fucked with me, period. Like you could tell there was like but there was like that feeling immediately. So I was like,
Mhm.
she doesn't fuck with me. Fine.
Mhm.
But I was still going on this trip. So we're there. I'm not even paying her any attention. I'm with my friends, whatever. We're doing our own thing. I walk into the bathroom at one point. It's like a multi-stall bathroom.
Mhm.
And she's in the stall talking shit about me to other students, which is highly inappropriate.
That's weird.
She's a teacher. Like
How old are you?
I'm maybe 16, 17.
Okay.
Either way, she's at least 10 years older than me. So why the fuck are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I'm yeah. Like you've had similar experiences with older people jealous of you. um, so I'm like,
Oh, that 10-year age gap.
right? I was like, spot on. So I am listening to this. She comes out the stall. All I do is look her in her face. Don't say anything then. We're days over. Is it in my head this whole time that this bitch has been talking about me? Yes, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, duh.
Like, it's nothing about it is comfortable for me. So then and I wasn't even like, to me, I'm not gonna like step to a teacher. So we're on our car ride home now. Like our school was in like a suburb of Boston. We're in Boston.
Mhm.
She keeps messing up the GPS. She's not listening to like what it's telling her. It's telling her to go left. She's going right. I at one point say, "Would you like me to like speak out the directions to you basically so you don't keep missing our turns?
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to go the fuck home." Okay?
Mhm.
She takes this like she already hates me. To her, that was like the ultimate disrespect,
Okay.
right? This woman at a stop sign pulls the car over basically. It's like a big van of students, you have to remember,
Okay.
to curse me the fuck out. Like car and park, turns around. I don't know who raised you. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, basically. But like when you come to me, you're gonna come correct. Like she's talking, I'm a kid. You have to
Mhm.
remember. And I'm like wildly shocked. The kids in the car are shocked. Like these are my friends.
Mhm.
And they are half of us are laughing because we are so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The other half are like, what the fuck is happening? So she's coming for me. Like,
Yeah.
if you meet any of my friends that ever experienced this, like they will tell you the story in full. The car ends. She basically tells me, I don't know who raised you, but basically my kids don't talk to me like this. You're not going to talk to me like this, that, and the other. I go home and I tell my parents this.
Mm.
My mom and my dad show up to school the next morning. They walk into her office. She's not expecting them. They're with me. I'm like,
Yeah, you're like trailing behind
I'm
them.
behind them.
You're literally
Exactly.
behind them, just like
And my
hiding.
mom enters the room and says, "I heard you asked who raised my daughter."
Yeah.
That was it. It was game over.
Damn. That's a baller ass statement. That's a baller ass way to start that out.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you asked.
She was like, "You want to know who raised her? We're right here. We're right fucking here."
Damn.
Yep. That's honestly all I remember from that meeting. I don't remember the rest because I was like,
You just blacked out.
I was like, that's the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
You just like blacked out. Blacked out.
Yes.
Damn. Man.
So if anyone ever questions where I got it from.
Damn. Wow, I can't wait to have kids. Can't wait. I can't wait to show up to the school in my outfit. If they even try to cross my kid, I wish you would. I wish you fucking would.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. Shout out, Mom, I just want to let you know you never came to my school.
Oh, yes, she did. Sheila was there.
No, she was quick to write an email though.
She was there.
I will say the one time I had this fucking teacher who told me I was trying to make the school like and I quote, because I was wearing Nike shorts. It was during the Nike short trend days. But
You act like that means something to me.
they were everywhere, but like you had to have whatever. They thought that my shorts were too short. And she goes, "Oh, were you trying to make our school like the schools on the other side of town?"
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. And she was like, "Nope, that's not allowed in my classroom. You need to go find different pants to go put on." So I skipped the entire period.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back like with 5 minutes left. And I remember going home and telling my mom this. Oh my God, the next day I was in a different class.
Damn right you were.
And it was but it's so funny how it was a blatant racist ass statement. And nothing happened to this lady at all. I just
Of
had to
course
move
not.
glasses, but, like, people be like, "Oh, well, that's just Professor Hodel. That's just Professor Hodel, da 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 da." And I would be like, "That's fucking weird. Like, she's racist, and it's actually not funny, but okay."
Not at all.
But yeah, but all right. So I guess we're living city life for
I'm a city girl.
a few more years until the foreseeable future. Although I do hope to give Jasper a yard.
Jasper don't want a yard. He doesn't like to be outside. Leave him alone. He's fine.
Yeah, he loves grass. Are you kidding?
No. See you next week, y'all.
Now, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Life is hard and it can be easy to feel overwhelmed and lost. Whether you're dealing with decisions around your career, relationships, or anything else in between, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate your life, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. For me, I look forward to my weekly therapy sessions that empower me to be the best version of myself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Visit betterhelp.com/codpod today to get 10% off your first month. That's better, HELP.com/CODPOD.